Hello, everyone, and good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on this Giving Tuesday, where you could be anywhere in the digital space, but you chose to be here with us today. As you can see, I'm a little dressed up for the occasion because we have a very special guest joining us today, but don't worry, we can't see you. You don't have to be dressed up. You can sit back, relax, kick your feet up because you are in for a treat. Today, I will be joined by Dennis Marcotto Soriano, and he will be sharing the state of the Greenway. So, I know you're not here to see me, but this is also a chance for you to ask him questions directly, share your experiences along the Greenway, and get excited and inspired about all that we've done this year and what we'll be continuing to do in 2022. So, without further ado, Dennis, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Angela. Thank you for having me, and welcome to the team. You're doing a great job, and it's so exciting to work with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here and just, here providing the platform for you to share more about the Greenway. Because this has been an incredible year, not just because I joined the team, but because we've gained some major ground, no pun intended, for Greenway investment and enjoyment. So, can you share a little bit about some of the accomplishments and milestones from this year that you're extremely proud of?
Absolutely, Angela. And the problem is there's so much that I'm extremely proud of, obviously that's not a problem. It's really incredible what kind of Greenway progress we have made together this year. It's been in many ways the breakthrough, the best year we've ever had. And I've been with the organization for over 12 years now. I just am in awe of what's happening and how much our team stepped up. And I want to tell you a few of those highlights. I'm going to miss some things because there's so much good going on. But I hope you enjoy some of these highlights. So, first, we're always about really moving the Greenway experience forward. We made a big set of progress around signage. Over 625 miles were signed this year. That's a new record. It's actually double the previous record. And that's staff, but it's also volunteers, incredible people. Volunteers like Rob Dexter, who's based in Connecticut, posting signs throughout New England. It's great teammates like Stephen Hardybraz of North Carolina, who has been posting an incredible amount of signs down east and right here through the triangle. I do mention his name. He's someone, unfortunately, he has run into, he had a bike accident a couple of weeks ago. And so we're really happy that he's on the recovery and on the mend, but it really emphasizes the importance of our work. We can't be so close to vehicles that could be have distracted drivers. We've got to set up a great system, a great network, a great route from the Moose to the Manatee for everyone to enjoy the whole East Coast. And that's what we're about. And this year, it wasn't just the signage front that's enhancing the Greenway experience so you enjoy the ride and you don't have to be stuck looking at your phone. It's also building for the future, the kind of groundbreaking investment that we were seeking. We got it. Over $500 million in investment were made for the East Coast Greenway. That was for sections like crossing the Meadowlands of New Jersey. It's going to take years to get it done, but pledges of support were made by the state of New Jersey, the governor, Murphy of New Jersey. De Blasio, the mayor of New York, actually made a major investment. And of course, Eric Adams, the new mayor coming up soon, hopefully will build on it. But major investment to build out the Greenway around Manhattan. There were incredible investments in Central Virginia that are moving forward, that are going to transform the experience there. And down in Jacksonville, Florida, they invested over $100 million toward building out a fantastic Greenway system. There's a serious need for safety there for biking and walking, and they are investing a portion of a new gas tax to make that happen. We're working closely with them. So really an incredible year, the kind of investment that can get the Greenway done, a theme that I want to talk about later as well. Greenway stimulus was a big campaign. You heard us talk about it last year. It actually moved forward very nicely this year. The infrastructure package was passed. That's over $1 trillion. Of course, not all of that can go to greenways, but all we need is 0.2% of it, and we can complete the whole East Coast Greenway. So we led a national effort for Greenway stimulus, working with over 200 wonderful partner organizations all across the country. And we heard, days after the passage, we heard from Secretary Pete Buttigieg. He was saying, Secretary for DOT, he was saying, okay, we've got the bill. Now it's implementation time. And that means all of us in the nonprofit space, all of us that are working for equitable and clean and healthy transportation, we have to step up and share the transformational projects that we have that the infrastructure investment deserves. So that's a major focus for us. We need greenways for all, and we want to get it done. This is our historic opportunity. Zooming in on one state, let's look at North Carolina. Our awesome team of Sarah Sanford, who has been leading the charge in North Carolina and Virginia as a Greenway coordinator, teamed up with incredible state leader and our vice chair of our board, Iona Thomas, and they made the East Coast Greenway the newest state trail in the state of North Carolina, helping to focus state park resources on advancing and accelerating progress for the East Coast Greenway through its long route here in North Carolina. Also, investments toward greenways in North Carolina went from roughly zero in recent budgets to over $29 million, which is huge on a state level. And we've seen it in leading states like Connecticut. They've been making it happen. But this is a huge breakthrough for the state of North Carolina. We're so proud of the work that our team did toward that. And regarding enjoyment of the Greenway, the boom continues. We had over 50 million bike rides, runs, and walks again this year. We're having that. It hasn't gone down. It continues, especially as we continue to build more Greenway. So this equitable public space is attracting more people, more visits than any other park in the country. And we're not done yet. We're only a third of the way there. So I'm really excited to keep working together and to work with these wonderful people who are experiencing the adventure of the East Coast Greenway, including Stacia Smart and her Going Strong ride, which went from Boston all the way to Durham to honor a loved one who had passed. And it includes, there are 2 deaf women, and I use my, sense of hearing a lot when I'm riding. So I was just so inspired by them. They just completed the whole route from Calais down to Key West. And it also includes some new speedster records. Who was it? Andrew Lehigh this past spring. He became the fastest to ever complete the Greenway in 33 days. A few months later in the fall, Regina Yan became the fastest, 29 days. It's not a race. We want everybody to enjoy the Greenway at their own pace. But it is pretty exciting to see new people, young and old, of all colors and income levels and backgrounds, getting out on the Greenway, whether it's for a day, whether it's for 5 minutes, or whether it's a month and change, biking the whole Greenway. The other big thing I want to bring up on enjoyment is we put on the first ever New York to Philadelphia bike ride, and it was a huge success. Over $250,000 were raised by the more than 300 riders and participants who joined us in that phenomenal inaugural ride. And if you're thinking about that ride for next year, it's on May 14th and 15th. We would love to have you there, and you can register today or at any point between now and mid-April. Your support makes this happen. Your support is helping us leverage public support, and it's also helping us give outstanding experiences on the Greenway, the haven of health, the sanctuary of sanity, the East Coast Greenway.
Okay. Well, you touched on a lot of things in there, but there's a lot to touch on. There's a lot of people to thank for making the Greenway enjoyable, making the road signage happen, making funding happen.
Yeah,
And, we want to continue to highlight those people because by extension of, investment and enjoyment, when the Greenway experiences growth and funding, the East Coast Greenway Alliance as an organization has many people to thank. And you've already touched on some of those people both internally and externally, for all their hard work that's made this possible. So I want to expound on what are some of the major organizational developments happening now, and what are some of our partners that have helped to make this work possible?
absolutely. Thank you, Angela. I've got more exciting stuff on this. The organization is growing. We actually, if you look at our staff from last January to this upcoming January, our staff's going to grow about 45%. And that's a lot more people for me to thank. These are incredible people, including you, Angela, and Mary Page, y'all videographers extraordinaire who are ready to tell the story like we've never been able to tell, these 3,000 miles of stories. I'm so excited to see you all in your leadership telling those stories to new hires. We also have a staff person based in New York for the first time ever, Luis Diaz, doing tremendous work and showing up at ribbon cuttings and working with the New York Greenways Coalition and moving things forward phenomenally, right out of the gate. Also want to thank, the staff, the longtime staff. This team is the best we've ever had, the most effective, caring, and thoughtful team. And it's just a joy to be working with them and to see their accomplishments working with volunteers. But just to mention some of their names, we've got Christine and Bruce up in New England. We've got Daniel in Philadelphia and Niles and Sarah, as I mentioned, here in North Carolina, and Brent down south, down in Savannah, getting it done as staff, field staff, Greenway managers and coordinators, doing incredible work. And we also have John leading our communications department and getting us all kinds of coverage, whether it's for a ride or it's for a groundbreaking or anything else, or a ride, one of these amazing people who are doing an individual ride, not just a big group ride. The word is getting out thanks to his leadership. And, without Cheryl Ann, our office wouldn't be as beautiful and as in tip-top shape as it is. And our books are good. An investment in the Greenway, that goes into impact. It doesn't go into, keeping the lights on or something like that. This money goes to building more Greenway and building a sustainable and a healthy and an equitable future for all to enjoy. And that's thanks to having great organized people working on that. And Debbie, amazing steward of our membership and our grants, and just a great writer, great teammate. So on the staff, we have a phenomenal team and just a joy to work with again. So I want to talk about our network though, and the volunteers that also bring it to life. So we have over 130,000 people now who are following and supporting the Greenway in different ways. And these include, of course, phenomenal leaders. Like on our board, uh, we have a fantastic board, includes our board chair, Larry Silver of Philadelphia, who, breaking news, just committed $5,000 to match any donation that people make today here on Giving Tuesday. He wants to help you make a great impact on the Greenway. And if we look in the dictionary on best board chair, it probably has Larry Silver's picture on it. And I'm also excited though that he's bringing in a teammate. We're going to have co-chairs, and Brandon Douglas of Maryland is going to be a co-chair. He was a great leader in the strategic plan process and a long-time trustee. Fantastic runner. We're not all just bikers. We're runners and we're walkers too. And so really excited to work with Brandon as well. And just up and down, the board is full of wisdom and experience and insight that's critical for the organization. We also have the advisory board. We've got the Greenway Council. We're always looking for sage advice from different leaders in the sector, and we're lucky to have them on our advisory board, Greenway Council, and our state committees. So I want to thank everyone who's been volunteering, and I want to thank in advance for anyone who's been considering volunteering and hopefully gets more involved moving forward. We got our strategic plan done to 2025 this year, thanks to the partnership with volunteers. And again, as a nonprofit, supporters make all of this possible. Our key donors gave more than they've ever given this year. I gave more than I've ever given. I'll give you some other examples. My graduate school friend from California yesterday just became a life member. That's an opportunity if you're interested in being a life member. That's $1,500. It's a big donation. But think about that. You're on the ground floor as a life member on one of the most important infrastructure projects in the country. Also want to thank our new Legacy Circle member, an advisory board member and bike expert on biking and facilities worldwide, John Pucher. He donated a significant amount this year. He's really helping us move forward. There's so many people to thank. There's Mike and Trish Davis of Maryland, who donated more than they've ever donated. This is a time where stocks are higher than they've ever been. The economy is strong. We've got low unemployment. We've got to make sure it gets down even lower. But this is a time where those of us that are doing well, we can invest in impact, especially on Giving Tuesday, to great nonprofits like ours. So I just want to thank everybody. There's other foundations. There's the JPB Foundation, who joined us as a partner for the first time. There's longtime partners like REI, corporate partner, who gave to us more than they've ever given. And there's new corporate partners like Athletic Brewing Company. They put together some delicious non-alcoholic brews that people can enjoy after a ride or before or whenever. So really excited about the growing team and really appreciative of everyone that helps this nonprofit and this project move forward so well.
Thank you. I can't say thank you for all the people that you mentioned, but I do want to say thank you for sharing all those names and highlighting all the amazing people, both internally and externally, who make this work possible.
Mm-hmm.
So this would usually be the time of our talk where I ask you how you get out on the Greenway, but you had the unique pleasure and experience of attending ribbon cuttings all up and down the East Coast. And I understand this may not be a fair question because there's so many to choose from, but if you could just highlight a few of the ribbon cuttings for trail dedications to the East Coast Greenway that you were super excited for and really enjoyed being on the ground for.
Absolutely. Thank you, Angela. One of the highlights of this work and this job is being able to go and see the tangible progress that's made, going to a ribbon cutting, celebrating with mayors and city council members, town council members, county commissioners, public advocates, local leaders, and celebrating that progress that we all work so hard to make. And we know it, every step is important, but that's the step where we get to really celebrate and have fun together. Maybe do a ride afterward after we cut the ribbon. Some of my favorite ribbon cuttings this year, they come to mind, include in Camden County in Georgia, the Low Country, right near the border with Florida. I had an outstanding time with the local advocates there, the local leaders, and they've been really building out the Greenway in a visionary way. They know that it's not as complete in the state of Georgia, so there's not a really extensive network that they're connecting to, but they're getting it done in Kingsland, in St. Mary's, in their local communities, and in their county, Camden County. And they're working on a ferry connection to Amelia Island in northern Florida, which is just about to be incredible. So I do recommend, if you're thinking of doing specific sections of the Greenway, maybe check out in the next couple of years, check out going down to Camden County and northern Florida. You know, another great ribbon cutting was also in northern Florida very recently. I went down to a small town in the beaches area of Jacksonville Beaches area, and it's the town of Neptune Beach. And they built a lovely section of the Greenway close to a small park called Jarboe Park with some amazing storks and sort of beautiful birds that I hadn't seen up here in North Carolina. And it's just been incredible to witness the community coming out in full force and celebrating this new piece. Again, that was a piece that it wasn't piecing together a major network yet. But this again is visionary leadership, starting off the Greenway system in that region, and soon it will connect many communities. I'm so excited about that. Going further north, I was just in the Boston area. There's a community in the North Shore, just northeast of Boston, that is named Lynn, Massachusetts. And I love the accents up there. It's a linear pack. You know, I love the accents of the East Coast Greenway, from down here, down south, all the way up to down East Maine. The cultures are incredible and wonderful. And we saw this new section, one of the best that we have in the whole Eastern Seaboard. It's a new section, and it now is going to connect. There's now about 10 miles that are complete. So that's really becoming a system that's not just for a mile here, a mile there, but it's becoming the kind of network that can get people to work, get people to school, and really transform that region. So I'm excited about what's taking place in Boston North and how that's developing. It's sort of similar to how it's developed in Connecticut going north as well. So it's just incredible stuff. There's so much that's going on. And those are some of those transformations everywhere at these ribbon cuttings. Up in Camden, New Jersey, beautiful new section on a hill where it used to be a trash dump. And they've done a beautiful remediation. And so it's a beautiful linear park and a place where people used to run away from it. Now they flock there. And it's one of the best views of Philadelphia. So much to celebrate. Those are a few of them.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And I just want to say all these trail dedications that are happening are just a testament to all the great things that are going to be coming in 2022.
Yes.
From our increased capacity, increased funding at federal, state, and local levels, and just increased enthusiasm as we get more and more people out on the Greenway. I think
Mm-hmm.
2022 is going to be incredible. And I don't want to step on you. I'm sure we have plenty of comments and questions and experiences coming in on both YouTube and Facebook. But I do want to ask, what does your vision for the East Coast Greenway and the East Coast Greenway Alliance look like in 2022?
Yes, thank you, Angela. It's a vision of growth. We've been working hard, and actually, it was yesterday, 30 years ago yesterday, when former executive director Karen Votava, who still is on our advisory board, and also Pat King, who's our advisory board chair, was the first board chair that we had back in the early 90s. They met and they founded the vision of the East Coast Greenway, a dream. Some might have said at that time it was a pipe dream, but it's a reality now. Over 1,000 miles of completed greenway connecting beautiful communities and nature, people, building community in a time that's so divided like now. It's so critical. This work is so critical. And so I want to give thanks again to them. So we've achieved a reality now, but it's not done. We don't have 3,000 miles of greenway. It's not family friendly. I wouldn't recommend a small child or even many seasoned cyclists bike the whole thing yet. I want to be clear. It's a work in progress. And there's some areas that we really have to work on. So you want to think seriously as you're thinking about your Greenway trip. Check out map.greenway.org and think about the facilities you see. Look at the warnings on the safety of some of the sections where it's on road. Really do that research before you ride, before you walk and run. But I hope you get out and enjoy it. And what our vision is for next year is really getting toward completing the Greenway. We have this historic moment where our country is investing in infrastructure like never before. And what are we going to do with that moment? If you and I step up, as volunteers, as staff, as donors, as partners, if we step up in this moment, we could complete the Greenway. There's enough money in that infrastructure bill to complete the East Coast Greenway. So that's our plan. It's to work with federal leaders, with state leaders, with the metropolitan planning organizations, and to really light that path toward completion and build greenways for all. We made a challenge to Secretary Pete recently because we know that the East Coast Greenway could become the most visited and enjoyed infrastructure project in the whole country. And it deserves resources to complete it. I'll be speaking with leaders at the Department of Interior tomorrow, actually, on the subject. We're going to talk about that. And with your help, we can get it done. This is our moment. This is the moment for greenways in general, and it's especially the moment for the East Coast Greenway. We're poised for success. So, again, I'm just so excited to work with our whole team, our staff, our volunteers, our donors, everyone. And there is that $5,000 match. So your impact could be doubled if you donate today. But I just want to thank everyone who's involved in this Greenway reality that we have now. And I would love to work with you to get it done in the years ahead, starting with 2022.
Thank you. And thank you for giving everybody a great way to get involved, because I'm sure probably by this point, people that are watching are super excited. They're pumped. They're ready to get outside right now, even if it's 30 degrees where they are. They're ready to get out, go for a run, get out on the
Yes.
Greenway. And they may even be asking themselves, well, what can I do to help complete the Greenway? Well, that's a great question. You already have one way, and that is the matching donation that we're doing right now. Thankful to our generous donor who is our board member there. So you give today or through the end of the year will be matched up to $5,000. So that's one way to help us complete the Greenway. If you want to get out on the Greenway, you're so pumped, you can join us on the New York City to Philly ride in May of 2022. The registration is open now, so you can begin registering for that and getting ready to head out on the Greenway with us. And of course, what's getting out on the Greenway if you don't have the swag? You got to look right. You have to look the part, right? We have some great Greenway gear for sale right now in our shop. And so that is one great way to also rep the Greenway, share the word about the Greenway, and become involved in our collective future and making a completed East Coast Greenway happen. That is our Southern New England guide, entailing where you should go, where you should check out in Connecticut and Rhode Island. So be sure to snag that in our shop today. And real quick, before we head out, there is one very interesting comment. Apparently, we are being joined from Jerk Hedberg on Facebook, all the way from Sweden. He says, I can't
Nice.
wait to go over from Sweden and biking from Maine to Key West. So there's already, hey, some excitement here, international excitement about the
Definitely.
Greenway for 2022. And we encourage you to join us. We encourage you to join us, excuse me. And thank you again, Dennis, for sharing so much insights about what has happened on the Greenway this year and what we can look forward to in 2022.
Thank you, Angela. And thank you to everyone for bringing the Greenway to life.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, we have one more comment. Charlie from YouTube, he says, woo! Keep up the great work on the Greenway.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Thank you,
Indeed.
Charlie. We will try our best. And if you're as excited as Charlie, I know I am now that I just did that. You can catch us here next week. We will be back with Daniel Pascal and Eleanor Horn talking about equity along the Greenway. So thank you guys again, and
Fantastic.
see you guys next week.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye.